Hello, welcome one and all. Thank you very much for joining us here at Cinematics Podcast, the Quarantine Edition. This is, I believe, our 5th video. So welcome one and all. Thank you very much for joining us. Today, my name is Roman, and I am joined by our wonderful cast and a very special guest. So let's go ahead and join our cast. First and foremost, our crew, part of my trio, if you will. To my right, it might be his left, it might be the bottom. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We have our charming, ever so funny, so I've been told and I'm being paid by other people, Adam.
Looks like someone's got a case of the Mondays.
All right, let's keep the Monday vibe going. And the very charming and funny herself, sweet and kind, Allison. Jinkies, indeed. And if you'll notice,
the wrong way.
No, not on my video. I'm not.
Yeah, you're underneath us.
Allison's there.
Down with the sickness.
And now I'm walking like an Egyptian.
Very good.
Walking with Egyptian for 500, Alex. And to my right, maybe to your left, depending on if you're seeing this in dyslexia version, I have our wonderful guest, Ms. Diana, who is also our Patreon, and we will be talking more about that in a second. Diana?
Hola.
Mm-hmm. Hola,
So,
indeed.
we steal our guests now and stick them in our own rooms, I see.
That's right.
We kidnap people.
One time deal.
You know what? Guys, you told me to get guests on. I made it happen.
At any length.
I promise people video games. I lure them.
All right.
Smart man.
So you see this, guys, this is a standard, so let's go ahead and maintain that standard. I expect each one of you to kidnap somebody and bring them to your office. All right. So the reason why we have Diana on is she is part of our Patreon. She is a big fan of the show. Someone who is very endearing to us. Adam, would you take a moment to talk about our Patreon system? You do it better than I do, so sorry.
Our Patreon system is a system of patrons.
Okay.
No, what we do is we have our patrons that subscribe to us through Patreon, and they get benefits for being subscribers based on the tier that they do. Like Diana here. She is a $10 or more, so she gets to be on the show.
Hey.
Yes.
Yeah. I've been waiting a long time for this, guys.
Yeah.
We do have the stickers made, but the mugs are still having problems with.
Yes.
I didn't say anything.
So, but no. So Diana, let's be honest, we're all friends here. Is there a particular member of this, I don't know, trio that you really enjoy, that you want to support?
Oh, of course. Allison knows how much I love her.
Hey, girl.
All right, so what we're going to be discussing on the show today, she's going to be sleeping on the couch, which means I will be sleeping on the couch. Just saying. That's how we roll in our family here. So on today's show, we're going to be talking a little bit of movie news, a couple things. We're going to be actually doing 2 movies. Today, we're going to be talking about the greatness of Scoob. And also what we're going to be doing, we'll take a mini break, and then we'll hit it hot and heavy with a game where we're going to be doing a game dedicated to Diana called 7 Ways to Die, where every single movie that we discuss will have die in the movie.
In the title.
Die in the title. Thank you very much. She's already a regular of the show. She knows how to bust my chops. See, you guys are proud. I pick them good. And then finally, we're going to be ending it with a very special subject matter of Diana's choosing, seeing that she essentially is our beneficiary, our beneficiary. She pays. She gets to pick the subject matter. So out of all movies, she picked Sucker Punch, and we'll talk more about that. But we'll be ending with that, and then of course we'll wrap up and talk about next week. So, everybody ready to go?
Yeah.
Yay.
Wow, guys, keep it down.
There was much rejoicing.
Let's go ahead and get
Bring
into
it.
some movie news. Anyway, so a couple of things that we want to talk about in movie news. Let's go ahead and start off with Scarface is going to be remade, and apparently is going to be penned by the Coen brothers. How about we get some thoughts on that? We'll go around the table. Let's go Allison first. We'll go Adam, then we'll go Diana, and then we'll go the good-looking guy in the black striped shirt. Last. Name it.
This will be really easy for Allison because Allison doesn't give a crap. I've never seen Scarface. I have no interest in seeing Scarface, so I don't care.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Awkward silence. Hey, Adam, why don't you get me off this crazy train?
Well, if you know me, you know I'm a big proponent of remakes. I think everybody needs a chance to show their love for art that they want to do. And I have a lot of faith in the Coen brothers. Not a big Michael Mann fan, so I didn't really care much for the first remake of Scarface. And I'll give this one a chance because the Coen brothers need to redeem themselves from the Hail Caesar garbage that they did.
All right, so for those of our audience members that don't know, Michael Mann, can you please talk about that?
I don't know.
Michael Mann is the guy who directed the Al Pacino remake of Scarface.
I thought it was Brian De Palma.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, no problem. I knew that. Yeah.
Is he related
Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
And if you're going for Adam's wrong, go ahead and click that. Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Playing Romans wrong, take an X off.
There you
Yeah,
go.
for those of you who are new to our videos, on our podcast, early on we had a running gag called Romans Wrong, where these two yahoos would oftentimes bring up how I'm wrong. Which
Bingo!
Is, bingo.
Not the
Yeah.
bingo part of it.
I'm trying to... Anyway, so Diana,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on remake of Scarface?
I'm split half and half. I think the Al Pacino one was okay. It was good for what it was. But I don't know what anybody involved in there has been doing. So I don't know. As Adam says, they're trying to redeem themselves, I guess. So well, I'll keep an open mind. I'll leave it like that.
Okay. And my 2 cents, which is probably going to be a nickel's worth on this one.
It's going to get cut.
You know, I can't tell you how many times I look through the AMC's top 100 films of all time list and go, you know what? You're getting remade, you're getting remade, you're getting remade, you're getting remade. You know, I can't tell you how many times in hip-hop, in the hip-hop universe, when they reference, you know, The World Belongs to Me and paraphrase Scarface, where I go, you know what? This need to be remade because clearly it's not relevant to today's day and age. Now, with that being said,
I mean, what else can you do with cocaine and drugs and, you know, like prostitute gangbangs? Like, there's only so far you can take these.
Yeah, are they going to remake it into, like, are they going to do it nowadays, or are they going to still do it back in the 70s? Like,
well, and that's what I was about to touch on. With that being said, the Scarface, directed by Michael Mann or Brian De Palma, whichever
Brian
one
De
you want
Palma.
to choose. Okay. Hey, don't worry. I got a shirt that you're about to wear. Trust me, it's called the Roman shirt, where I'm always wrong. There you go. You get to wear it.
A new segment, Adam's Shame.
Oh, it's okay. We're all friends here. Most of us. Yeah. She's my wife, so. Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife.
What I was getting at in terms of the original Scarface are the 1982 version with Brian De Palma and Al Pacino. That was a remake of a 1940s film about basically an Italian kid coming. So the film that we know that's currently in the hip-hop lexicon and has high influence towards the hip-hop culture, that was a remake. So, you know, depending on what angle they're at, as much as I'm throwing some dirt over it, I am open to see where they're willing to go with this. I think you could go a couple ways to it. You know, if it's directed by the Coen brothers, they usually have some very interesting ideas. So it should be very interesting. Let's go ahead and talk about some other interesting stuff. As maybe some of you may know, we're a big fan of musicals here, and in July 3rd on Disney Plus, they are bringing in Hamilton So we are excited, at least on this side in this cube. Let's go ahead and get the thoughts. Will go in the same order.
Going to be the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Is it?
okay. Allison, any thoughts?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I said to Adam like a couple months
You're
ago.
wrong. Ha!
I said that no, it wasn't a couple months ago. I guess now it was during quarantine. I said that they should start showing Broadway musicals on some channel, and not like the classic ones like Cats and Les Mis and stuff like that, but like, you know, Mean Girls and Beetlejuice, like the ones that have been out the last couple of years.
Okay.
They should have some kind of service or whatever where you can rent it and see the actual play. And I said that would be the only way that I would see Hamilton. So, you know, I will definitely watch it, and I'm excited to watch it, but I had no interest in it when it was down here, when it was this big to do, mainly because I'm not a history person. So although I'm a big hip hop person, I don't understand. I just didn't get it. I don't understand, like, and because I haven't seen it, but I was just like, why are you mixing history and rap? And I was confused by it, but I'm going to watch it. So.
Okay. Well, never watch Conjunction Junction, for the record. Adam, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Hamilton hitting Disney Plus?
The exact opposite of Allison. I'm not a big fan of hip hop, but I am a big fan of history. But I'll probably give it a chance. I do like musicals. I do feel bad for all the people on Broadway. I just saw an interview on NBC about the people that had new shows opening up this year, like Miss Doubtfire and Empire Records, and they don't know if they're ever going to show their shows again. So maybe this will bring them some kind of way to get it out to the people.
Okay.
But, you know, I'll watch it.
All right. Madam to my right, Ms. Diane.
Where's my whip? Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I actually heard one of the songs, the opening song of it, and that sounds, I liked it. I'm really intrigued. I had no interest of watching it until I actually heard the whole first beginning song, and now I'm all about it. Now I want to see what it's about.
So where did you hear the opening song?
Something funny. SGN, Some Good News with Don Krasinski, and they had the little girl that couldn't go up to New York, and he had the whole cast on Zoom actually, and they did the whole first song, and I was like, it got me. I had zero interest in watching it or had anything to do with it until I actually heard the words to the song and how they put it and what it's about. With that one song, they just told you what was it about, and then I guess the rest of the play is going to show you how they get there. So I'm intrigued.
I have heard some of it, just not in the way of the actual Hamilton, because I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, Weird Al Yankovic did a Hamilton polka.
I don't think I've heard that. Nope, I haven't heard that one. We got to check that out.
I believe Flea once said that he realized that he made it big when Weird Al was covering his music. Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Dave Grohl said that as well when he did the Nirvana song.
Perhaps that maybe is what I was thinking of. Who knows? It sounds eerily similar. Okay, it could be the Mandela effect, and I'm living in a time of frame where, Weird Al only covered the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Adam is coming from an area where
Michael Mann directed Scarface.
Exactly. Now it all makes sense.
Yep.
All right. So, closing thoughts on Hamilton, then we'll get into Scoob. Really excited about it. I'm a big fan of musicals. I wake up singing, as my wife will probably attest.
In his sleep.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I have songs to feed the dogs. I have songs to get my kid to brush his teeth. I have songs when I'm upset. It's great.
It's not great.
Well, if we're going to have a family argument, let's do at least in the key of C. Just saying.
You're like the female Jess from New Girl. You're like Zooey Deschanel. You just sing.
Oh, yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Let's end this meeting on a high note.
Oh, there you go. Parata. We got to stop hanging out because you're doing the dad jokes. You're messing up the director's name. We really.
Bizarro over there.
Yeah,
Adam's the new
But
Roman.
no, it should be fun. A couple things, Allison. I believe there is a channel where they do Broadway. I remember seeing it when I got my new subscription to my Verizon phone. No plug, just giving you some advice or giving a heads up. They gave me Apple TV, and you can do a la carte channels. And I think I saw a Broadway channel on there.
Yeah, you're right. But every time I've gone on there, it's old stuff.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
Weber stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
like
so
Phantom.
maybe in St. Louis.
Yeah, like you can only
Yeah.
watch Phantom of the Opera so many times.
Yeah.
Or the horrible sequel.
So
There was a horrible sequel of Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah,
Is it
Love
like
Never Dies.
Oh, okay.
Never even heard of it.
We'll have to
but
take.
speaking of Weber, like I kind of want to rent the new Cats and like just drink and just watch it and just be like thoroughly amused. Like I want to see how terrible it is.
Just wait
You
for it
had
to
me
come out
to
on
Train
HBO.
wreck that you have to watch.
Go ahead, Adam.
I said just wait for it to come out on HBO.
No,
Okay.
it's worth $1 at Redbox for me to have that much fun.
Is it the theater cut or the butthole cut?
So, Adam, for those who don't know, can you please take a minute to slightly redeem yourself?
I'm sure it's a thing.
Well, apparently there was the original cut of the movie had cat buttholes in it when they lifted their tails,
Oh, that's what you
Okay.
mean.
and they had to digitally cut them out.
Like Daryl Hannah covering her backside and Splash. Yeah, they got to do with the movie magic.
Yeah, I think there's some slight differences between Daryl Hannah's backside and
Cats,
Rebel
Brown
Wilson's derriere entry. Just saying some subtle differences. But maybe we could do maybe a game on that. Can you tell the difference between Daryl Hannah's backside and Rebel Wilson's
Oh, goodness.
derriere opening?
Call it
No?
Guess the
Well,
Starfish.
All right, so
Oh.
hey, speaking of awkward moments, let's go ahead and move on. I believe all four of us saw a movie, thank you to Ms. Allison, called Scoob. So why don't we talk about what's going on? I believe it was released this Friday, is when it was released, and there's a lot of good buzz, a lot of positive things, and I believe the four of us have some positive things to say about it. If not, we'll figure it out. So why don't we go with Miss Allison first, Adam second, then
Adam can go.
Okay, Adam second, Allison, or Adam first, Allison second, then we'll go Diana third, and Roman
That's Allison.
fourth. Oh, which one? Which one's my wife?
You pointed to me and said Allison.
Oh, raise your hand if you're my wife.
Kidding, I'm
Okay,
kidding.
all right. I was gonna say I'm single. All right, Adam, what you doing,
So,
Sailor?
Adam.
I'm playing video games. Come on over.
He's been trying to play with my joystick for years, folks. Anyways, go ahead, Adam.
Scoob was awesome. It was a very adorable movie. It was very cute, very wholesome, very just wonderful film, and it's basically something that we really needed right now. It's also a movie for fans of Hanna-Barbera in the 70s and 80s, disguised as a kids movie for today. I really enjoyed all the references and Easter eggs and the cool pseudo setup they did in the final credits. Yeah, credits. And I really enjoyed it. I didn't know the cast was so talented. I didn't know there was a big talent cast in this movie until I kept looking up people, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's right. All right, cool. I had a really good time with this movie, and I actually have been waiting a while to see it, so I'm glad it turned out as good as it did.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Allison.
I actually will go last because although I really liked the movie, I have some negatives to it. So I will let you guys do all the positives.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Allison. We'll catch you next week. All right. Let's go ahead.
Well, I have one negative about it.
Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. All right. All right. Go.
I'm surprised you don't have a negative about it because you don't
I
know
know.
us, Roman.
Yeah.
Well, you know me. I'm Mr. Negative. What can I say? I am completely.
No, I agree with Adam. It was everything I wanted in the movie. It was great until the end, and then I was like, okay, that's just silly. in a movie that was fun all the whole way through.
Mhm.
It gave you everything that you wanted, and then at the very end, I don't want to spoil anything. It was like, really, you couldn't, and then you just pee and I was like, no, that's not. But overall, I give it an A+.
So without going too much into spoiler territory, how do you define it and ping for an ending?
People who've seen it know what I mean when they go like that.
Oh, I get it.
So
okay,
like
yeah.
it feels like they just forced the ending of, we have to make this end on a good note and it can't be sad, and so let's shove this in there, and then.
But at the same time, I'm crying my eyes out the whole time during that.
Really?
Yeah. And I knew it was going to end happy.
Huh?
And I knew it was going to end happy, but at that moment, I was like, oh, this isn't happening. I'm doing like Rise of Skywalker crying.
Oh, I was crying too in Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, no, I didn't cry in Scoob, but, well, not at that part. Other parts. It was good. I liked it.
Okay. I thought it was absolutely enjoyable. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought, to echo Adam's sentiments, completely spot on. From the beginning opening scene to the end, it was a delight and a joy. It was like watching or looking through an old photo album of your youth, at least from my perspective, to see little tidbits of information. And tidbits. The humor was more directed, I feel, towards us being 30-year-olds as opposed to a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old per se. A lot of the jokes may be over their head. The animation was outstanding.
Oh, yeah,
very smooth, very fun. There is an awesome thing, and I don't believe I'm spoiling it for anybody, but if you do watch it, they actually recreate shot by shot opening to Scooby-Doo, but with today's music, cover of the theme song, and today's animation, 3D animation.
So
really cool, and it's just such positive service for a forgotten gem, probably in this day and age with anime and other things. I think a lot of the Hanna-Barbera classics were forgotten, and in the end, of course, sorry, I apologize, I lost my train of thought, but now it's back on. So in the end, they had a great homage, almost like 21 Jump Street or 22 Jump Street, where they had potential like thoughts or homages to other Hanna-Barbera classics, which you guys can check out and let us know. But yeah, I give it a solid A. I wouldn't say an A+ per se, but a solid A. The me thing, probably not. But Allison, thoughts, disagreements?
Yes. So I really liked it. My 5-year-old kept telling me to be quiet and stop laughing because I was hysterically laughing at certain things, and he didn't get it, obviously. But from the moment it started, and when they were younger and they went trick-or-treating and they went in the house, I immediately caught the original do 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 as they were walking through, and I was like, oh my God, listen. And Carter and Mike are like, huh? And I'm like, I'm upset because I've been watching Scooby-Doo since I was little. I watched a pup named Scooby-Doo. I love Scooby-Doo. But I did enjoy it. However, I have some critiques. The Simon Cowell thing, that seemed like it was from like the early 2000s. Why was he in there? I thought that was cheesy. That wasn't needed for me. I wanted more of the group together. I missed all of them being together. I don't believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe Fred ever said, let's split up, or any kind of like old, catchphrase that we're used to. I felt that there was too much separation. It was them and the Blue Falcon and the other ones down in Earth. You know what I mean? I wanted them all together a little bit more, and maybe they'll do that in a remake, not a remake, but a sequel. Something else bothered me. Oh, they didn't even give him a Scooby snack until the very end, and that irked me because there were Scooby snacks on the van, and I'm like, why haven't they given him a Scooby snack? It was just little things, and then the ending. I felt that the end, Big Boss, the villain, I felt that felt flat to me. It wasn't classic Scooby enough for me. It wasn't horror enough for me, like scary, like ghostly for me. And that took away a little bit of it from, back in the day for me.
Okay, a couple of real quick points. Simon Cowell thing, without giving too much away, just for the viewers at home that may not know, can you define a little bit more about the Simon Cowell thing that you're referring to?
Kind of. So Simon Cowell is in the beginning, and he's like eating with them in a restaurant and kind of telling them
he wants to invest.
What?
Yeah.
He wants to invest in Mystery Inc.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he wants to invest. But Simon Cowell isn't relevant, right?
Yeah. I get that.
Where is it? What year is it?
Yeah, I get that.
Cowell? If anything, you should have done like Ryan Seacrest or something. I don't know. And then Simon Cowell shows up again in the end. I can't say anything about that. It was kind of cute. I will say though that, and another one, why didn't they call Matthew Lillard? Will Forte didn't do it for me. Matthew Lillard is Shaggy, and I feel like they kind of screwed him. Matthew Lillard should have been Shaggy.
Okay.
Shaggy.
Yeah. Well, I will let us all think about that, and maybe compress, and maybe take a little break, and then we'll come back and maybe we'll hug it out. Okay. All right.
Get out.
No, but I get what she's saying. That part with Simon doesn't really need it. Like you could have anybody, or just I don't know, a fictional character, somebody new. You could have.
Yeah, I just didn't get that. I didn't get that, but I appreciate the villain. I appreciate that they brought Dick Dastardly back. I want a Wacky Races movie really bad. I appreciate all the Easter eggs. Going down the road, you saw like Pebble's Pet Shop. And little
the
things.
Hong Kong Phooey video game.
There was a ton of video games.
So many video games. There was just little nods throughout the whole movie, and it tugged at my heartstrings, and I just got Captain Caveman. What? Like,
yeah.
It was amazing. It was amazing, and I hope that it helps little kids get into it more. I don't know if they're able to, if they have Hanna-Barbera on any like streaming thing right now, but I really want to get Carter into watching Wacky Races.
I think Hanna-Barbera is now owned by Universal, I believe. If memory serves me correct, I believe I read that through.
This movie was Warner Brothers.
Oh, was it? Okay, it shows you what I know.
By Michael Mann.
Yeah.
I only said Jinkies once.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole movie. I was like, okay.
So,
it took forever for the ascot to appear.
Yes. Yes.
So, for those who haven't seen the film, real quick, you said Captain Caveman. I'm sure somebody who's watching this first time goes, what's going on? So, just real quick, if you don't know who Captain Caveman is, Google it. He's one of my favorite Hanna-Barbera characters, period. I mastered my look after Captain Caveman, actually.
Quarantine edition.
Yeah, so there's a scene in Captain Caveman. Adam, speak a little bit more towards the scene real quick, and then we'll go on break. Captain Caveman appeared in a fight scene with, I believe it was Shaggy, correct? Or no, Blue Falcon.
Yeah, they were going for the last skull, which was weird because it's the exact same plot as The Phantom starring Billy Zane, where the bad guy was going after 3 skulls to open up a gateway. But yeah, Captain Caveman was in possession of the final skull, and he likes to fight, so they had to fight over it. And he was very positive about being the superior fighter. But it was really fun.
It was great. Yeah. It was so much fun.
It was outstanding. But why don't we all go find our third skull or our third shell and take a break, shall we?
Seashells.
And then when we come back, we're going to die a little bit in a game. Yeah, you see what I did there? Yeah, this is what I do, honey. Yeah, you're welcome.
I know.
Yeah.
All right.
Die.
We'll be back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
All right, welcome back. Thank you very much. I hope that was a desirable break. You are back with us here at Cinemadness, the podcast. I am, again, the host for today, Roman, with Adam, the good-looking guy with the beard, the other good-looking guy with the beard, as well as Allison, the beautiful lady in the maroon blouse.
Shirt blouse.
Blouse? How old am I?
Shirts versus blouses.
You're as old as you feel, sweetheart.
At least you didn't say you had a beard.
And,
True.
well, you know, Halloween's coming up before we know it. Just saying.
Ugh, goodness.
Anyway, so, and also we are here with our outstanding guest, Diana. Diana, thank you very much for being a Patreon and joining us today. And today, in honor of Diana, we are going to be playing a game, and the game will be called Sample. No, I'm kidding. The game will actually be called 7 Ways to Die. That's right, with a E in parentheses because her name is Diana, also known as Di.
That
So
looks
there's
like dice.
7 Ways to Dice, indeed. It probably doesn't have the same hook to it, not going to
Parentheses
lie.
are really early.
Yeah,
Really, really expensive graphics.
only the best
Spared-
for you folks.
spared
Thank you
no
for
expense.
joining us. Thank you for waiting past the conversation about, starfish and
Oh
cats.
gosh. Okay.
All right. So let's go ahead and rock and roll and have some fun with this. So the rules of the game are simple. I'm going to give you a sample just so you guys know what we're working with. Of course, each film that I bring up will have die somewhere in the title of the film. So for example, here is the sample question. I'm going to give you 3 clues and you guys tell me what it is. Please don't answer till after the clues. Each right answer has 1,000 points. And the person with the most points gets a rant, which, spoiler alert, most likely will give to our guest.
I'm not prepared.
Okay. It's good to know that she listened to me when I prepped her for the last 3 days. All right, so the sample questions would be as follows. Clue number 1, cowboy. Clue number 2, Christmas. Clue number 3, Nakatomi Plaza.
Die Hard.
Hard.
All right, Matrix it is. Yeah,
Aw.
Die Hard it is. Congratulations. So if this were the actual game, Adam would get 1,000 points. So, everyone get it?
Got it.
How many questions are there?
22.
There are 7. Hence,
So like 5 of them are diehards?
And the other 5 are James Bond movies.
Yeah. This is gonna be fun.
Good day to
All right.
Die Hard.
So I got 2
Oh, wait,
questions.
that's a Die Hard.
All right, let's have some fun. All right, Adam, are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Oh man, keep it toned there, dude. Allison, are you ready?
Yes, I was born ready.
Oh man.
Roll.
Diana, are you ready?
Bring it on.
Oh man. Audience
lose.
listening in, are you ready? Oh, stop it. I'm married. Anyways, let's have some fun. All right, so question number 1. The 3 clues are as follows. Clue number 1, 2002. Clue number 2, Pierce Brosnan. Clue number 3, Halle Berry.
Die Another Day.
You are correct. Die Another Day, because Adam was laughing because he predicted it. So
Yes, he
Allison gets 1,000 points. Way to go. All right, let's go ahead and keep the good vibe going. So this
Good
one,
vibe going.
if you
Good
actually
vibe
get this
going.
right, Allison or Adam, if you guys get this right, I will buy you a beverage of your choice because I doubt that anyone will get this one right.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Aha
All right.
Blast coming up.
It's a Japanese film. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so
Die Hard.
Clue number 1, William Dafoe. Clue number 2, John Turturro. Clue number 3, it was released in 1985.
1995?
85.
85.
85.
85.
Willem Dafoe.
I don't know anything. He's been in like 1 or 2 movies.
5,
He was
4,
in Spider-Man. One of them.
3, 2. It's not Spider-Man. 1,
I know.
0. All right. That means the house gets it. To Live and Die in L.A. is a movie. It was released in 1985. It starred William Dafoe and a young John Turturro.
That was a great
Yes.
song, too.
To Live and Die in L.A.?
Yeah.
Really? Who's it by?
Some 80s band. It was for the
Wow.
movie.
Okay. Really? Okay. Why didn't you get it right? All right. So currently Allison's up 1,000 points. Good looking guy over here in the black striped shirt is 1,000 points. And then these 2 fine folks, Diana and Adam, have goose eggs. All right. But it gets a little bit hotter as we get less cards. Just saying. All right. Here's our 3 questions, or 3 clues.
Die Hard 2.
All right, let's do another Let's do.
I'm waiting for Liam Neeson, Sam Raimi, Part 3.
All right. You know what? Stop it, guys. You're taking away the fun. All right. So here's our 3 clues. Jane Seymour, clue number 1. Clue number 2, Roger Moore. And clue number 3, Paul McCartney and the Wings.
Oh, Live and Let Die.
That is correct, Adam. Live and Let Die. Of course, Jane Seymour was the vixen in the film, as well as Roger Moore. This was his first film in 1973, being what? She was the vixen. She was sexy. She was, I forget her name, but anyways, it's neither here nor there. Roger Moore, this was his first actually attempt at being James Bond in 1973, and Paul McCartney and the Wings did the title track of Live and Let Die. All right. Question number 4. We have clue number 1, Liam Neeson. Clue number 2, nope. Hold on, hang in there. Clue number 2, Charlize Theron. Oh yeah, now it gets awkward. Clue number 3, Seth MacFarlane.
Oh,
Many Days Drive in the West.
I heard Allison. A Million Ways to Die in the West. Good job, Allison. Way to go. Yeah, Mr. Smarty McSmart.
Stuck in the wind.
It's all right. No problem. So all but one of us has 1,000 points. Allison has 2,000 points because she's a trendsetter. All right, here are 3 clues.
Trendsetter.
Exactly. 3 clues. Clue number 1, 2005. Clue number 2, Viola Davis. Clue number 3, 50 Cent.
Oh, Get Rich or Die Trying.
That is correct. Get Rich or Die Trying. That's my gangster girl right there. Throwing it down. Ha ha. Regulators, down up. Way to go. Get Rich or Die Trying.
Named after his album.
Yes, that is correct. And that was starring, of course, a younger 50 Cent. Viola Davis, when she wasn't playing in Suicide Squad, she was actually the female lead in that film in 2005. So, fun stuff, folks. We got 2 more questions. It's getting hot and heavy in here.
It is.
Allison has 3,000. We got Adam who has 1,000. Good-looking guy has 1,000, and Diana's still, she's still holding
I'm
down.
here.
You are. Yes, thank you very much. All right. So we got 2 last questions. Here are 3 clues. Clue number 1, Christmas. Clue number 2, Holly. Clue number 3, Richard Thornburg.
What was the second clue?
Holly.
Holly?
Oh,
Who's Richard Thornburg?
that's what I just said.
3,
Die Another Day. We already said
2.
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Die times 3.
All right. And that means good-looking guy over here gets the points. All right. It was Die Hard 2, Die Harder. And it was in Christmas time, just like Die Hard 1. Holly was the wife of John McClane, and Richard Thornburg was the annoying reporter.
Played by William Atherton.
Nice.
Yes. All right.
And the bad guy was William Sadler, who played Death in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Yes. Way to go. I see your butts. That's not my butt.
Directed by Rennie Harlan, who did Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
Oh, there you go.
Trying to redeem himself.
This is why you guys tune in. It's more than just Michael Mann show here, folks. All right. Let's keep the good vibe going one last time. All right. I hold in my hand the last 3 questions, or 3 clues to the last question of Cinemadness' 7 Ways to Die. And here we go. Clue number 1, 2006. Clue number 2, Jenny McCarthy. Clue number 3, Brittany Snow.
John Tucker Must Die.
That's correct. John Tucker Must Die. Way to go there, Allison. Of course, that was released in 2006 with
Jenny
Romans.
McCarthy was in there?
Yes, she was. She was the mom. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Trust me, I know anything Jenny McCarthy.
Stacy's mom.
No. Anyways, and Brittany Snow played Jenny McCarthy's daughter in that film. Of course, Tampa's own Brittany Snow. Yeah, if you ever want to join us, Brittany, please feel free. You can sit on the couch right here. Mm-hmm.
Nice and warm.
All right. Well, congratulations. Way to go. Allison, if it's okay,
Yay!
thank you very much.
Die movies.
May I please?
You left out one of my favorite movies.
Okay, which one?
It stars Nicole Kidman.
Oh, To Die For, yeah. Yeah.
That was an excellent movie.
I thought about that, but I thought that you guys wouldn't get it, to be honest with you.
You left out Darkman 3, Die, Darkman, Die.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
I thought about that as well.
I
I actually chose all my questions based on Ranker, ranker.com. For those of you who may not know, there's this website that you just rank things, subject matters, anything from your favorite potato chips.
We can judge more on the internet?
You can. Yeah, you can judge on the internet.
That's insane.
Hashtag for realsies. All right. Yeah, but anyways, on the Ranker, they have best movies with Die in the title. So that's why I stole it off of. Yeah,
Borrowed.
so
We
fun
borrowed.
stuff.
Yeah.
So, Allison, you normally when we play games together, we give the winner a 30-second rant. May I give it? May I give it to our guest? Is that okay, ma'am?
You may.
All right, go ahead. 30 seconds.
I don't have a rant. I just want to, if anybody out there is a healthcare professional or first responder, I just want to say thank you very much. You do things that I would never dream of doing. So thank you for all that you guys do. The nurses out there, the doctors, specifically nurses, they have the heart of gold, and I couldn't even dream of doing anything that they do. So it's not a rant. I just want to give the appreciation out there and the love. And the teachers, I have no idea what they're going through right now, too. Teachers are so important, and all this whole thing is topsy-turvy. So thank you. Thank you guys very much.
All right. Well, way to show us up by being thoughtful.
It won't happen again on this show.
No.
No.
The one and only time.
Yeah, thank you very much for all you do out there, teachers.
I can't do that. I can't do what they do. So I have to give them props because I come out of I become the Maleficent dragon and just eat everybody and just burn it all down and just walk away. I'm like, hey, it was fun. So I want to give them some love.
Okay. Well, let's not make you a Maleficent dragon. And
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, there you go. So why don't we go ahead and move to our last subject of the day. So normally here on Sin Madness podcast, we talk about movies. We each talk about a movie, maybe a subject matter. We've done that. For those of you who are not familiar with us, we've done that with our podcast focusing on Friday the 13th. We did John Hughes films, as well as other subject matter. We recently did it with Star Wars. So this one we thought was very special because we have a wonderful Patreon who supports us so very much to give her free reign of any movie that she wanted to talk about, and we all would focus on that. Now,
my ultimate top one I wanted was The Crow, but I went with Sucker Punch instead because it's a little more relevant and it's a little more, it speaks more to me. Let's put it that way. So I chose Sucker Punch.
Okay. All right. So Sucker Punch, for those of you who may not know, it was released in 2011. Adam, why don't you give us a couple of stats because you are better at the facts than me.
It's Sucker Punch. Yeah, it's a movie by Zack Snyder, who did the most of the DCEU stuff. You can really tell that he used to be a music video director because all the movie is a bunch of different music videos with really great music aside from Bjork. And it stars what's her name?
Emily Browning.
Emily Brown.
Yeah, Emily Browning from Series of Unfortunate Events. And it's got John Hamm in it and Oscar Isaac. And it's kind of an Alice in Wonderland story, a little bit twisted. You don't know what's going on. It's kind of like Zack Snyder's Baz Luhrmann movie.
Okay. All right.
Kind of how I took it.
Right.
It's fun. It's a fun movie. It's not very deep. There's not very much to it. There is if you want to look into it, but it's just a fun little mashup musical that Zack Snyder wanted to throw some cool effects into, and I have no problem with it whatsoever.
Okay. Excellent. Allison.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the film? Have you seen the film recently? When was the first time that you were exposed to the film? let's talk the film.
Yeah, so I saw it in theaters, and then I bought it. So I've seen it probably 2 or 3 times. I planned on watching it over the weekend, and I kind of forgot, but I remember it. So I was like, I'm good. You forgot that it stars Carla Gugino, which I absolutely love. She's from SimCity. She's from Spy Kids.
Oh yeah.
It also had, what was some of the other girls that were in it? I forget, but it's got a really good
I just know all their nicknames.
cast.
They're real.
Do what?
I just know their nicknames in the movie. I don't know.
Yeah. Jamie Chung. I think Jamie Chung is in it. I loved it when it first came out. I think it's a beautiful film. Can you hear my dog barking?
Yeah.
No. Nope.
It's okay.
Special guest Riley.
We're 11
I'll
here.
just talk really loud. Zack Snyder is one of my top 5 directors. I love him. I love everything about him. I love his cinematography. I love his style. The film itself is gorgeous. It's a gorgeous movie to watch. The colors is similar to 300, which is his movie too. Even the new Dawn of the Dead that he did, it's very dark and gritty. The movie almost looks a little dirty to me, you know. It's really good, and I don't understand why this movie got so much hate. A lot of people didn't like it. I think that they felt that it was just it didn't have like a story to it, you know.
They probably didn't understand it.
Yeah. And I don't know from a female perspective, and obviously we can talk about this. I don't know if a lot of people thought that it was anti-feminist. And, you know, basically the bottom line of the story is they're in an orphanage in the 1950s. And she, every time she dances, it transforms her into this other world. It kind of gets her out of her body, out of being abused and gawked at and having to sell her body. And she becomes empowered when she does this. And I don't know if a lot of people thought that that was kind of sexist towards women. I thought the exact opposite. I thought that was empowering. But I think a lot of people were turned off by that.
Well, it was, I'll start from the beginning. If you guys haven't seen it, then as spoilers.
Spoiler alert, it's like 10 years old.
Yeah, exactly. So if you didn't watch it, you're not going to watch it. Here's where I fall on that line. She went through something traumatic, and so did her sister. And when her mom dies, the predominant figure in her family is not very good to them. He molests the girls. In turn, to save her sister, she ends up killing her sister, ends up in an insane asylum doesn't necessarily mean orphans, but that's the general idea that you get from it. There's a 2-level psyche going on. She has to put herself in another place to not deal with the trauma that she has already dealt with. But now she's facing more drama, more abuse, and just complete other nonsense. So she goes to this, and you can't really say happy place. It's just in an empowerment place where she gives herself the powers to be able to fight back, to be able to not be this young little, cry, I can't do anything, I killed my whatever. That she's trying to take the strength back that everybody in her life has taken away from her, including her sister accidentally by killing her. So having something dramatic happen to you in that sense, I understand it. Now, to Allison's point, I get it's written by a man. It was directed by a man. Zack Snyder he did everything. I know his wife he was involved with it. His wife was involved in it too, but he could only go so far as to speak for a woman in a situation that was abused. So, but I think he did a good job. I'm going to give him that much. I really do think he did a great job. He did it at 2 level, where first she was in the asylum, and then you see the reality for like maybe a minute, and then it switches. And then she has to go to that other place because that's where she can, be the gang leader, be the gatherer of and rescue them and get everybody out of there. And then it goes a second level down with the just complete beautiful cinematography, and just the way that they did the action sequence with the music and the videos. She had to go so deep down in herself to get away from everything that was happening, and I think he captured that great. I think he put that together great. I mean, at the very end, when Rocket is about to get stabbed, they don't even show her getting stabbed because she has to flip back in her head.
Rocket's one of the characters. Correct?
Yeah, Rocket is one of the characters. She's the sister.
Not a raccoon.
No. Not a raccoon. Sweet Pea, and there's Amber. There's
all characters.
They're all. Okay. There's like 5. I think it was Amber, Sweet Pea, Rocket. She was Baby Doll. The main chick was a blonde Baby Doll, and then there's one I'm missing. Blondie. Blondie was the one that was one of the other.
It sounds like it came up with the character's name. There's Droopy, there's Sneezy, there's Blondie, Sweet Pea. All right, please continue.
So it seems like Baby Doll has to get in here and be the ringleader to help everybody out. We're gonna escape and we're gonna get all this stuff, and it's kind of like a video game. Each step that they need a map. They need certain items to go out, and each level, they have to fight their way through it to earn the treasure at the end of the level. And it goes through that a few times in the movie, and it's just amazing how they did it. But at the very end, you don't know what's real and whose mind we were supposed to be following. It has one thing that just turns it on me, which I'm like, I can't figure out. Who was the story being told by? Was it Sweet Pea or was it by Baby Doll? And for the longest time, I thought it was Baby Doll because she was predominantly in the film. But once I did more research and looking into it, I think it was Sweet Pea they were following. But
if people aren't fans of movies that flip back and forth, you can get very lost in this movie. And I know a lot of people don't like that. They don't like where you can't tell, is this real? What year is this? Is this present? Is it in the past? And it flip-flops to 3 different worlds, like constantly. Especially when she goes all the way down to the deepest part where she goes into, they basically go to World War I and fight war. I mean, you're kind of...
World War I zombies. I mean, come on, steampunk zombies. Just with oh man, that was awesome. But they only show the first level.
How do you define
at the beginning? They only show the first level at the beginning of the movie and at the end of the movie. They don't switch from 2 and 3 until the first 5 and the last 10.
When you're saying first level, are you referring to the
reality?
Okay.
Yeah, first level is reality. You're there. This is what's happening.
Okay.
And then second and third. Then the whole movie is between 2 and 3. And it's just, and that is confusing. You don't know, what is this? Is this really happening? But it's a good mix. It's a good blend. You know, some of it happened, but not, flying out of helicopters and doing all that. So
right.
Yeah. In terms of, not to take away from our guest, in terms of what I saw with Sucker Punch, she actually exposed me to it when we first got together. She's like, hey, you got to check out this film, Sucker Punch. And I'm like, no, I'm cool. Let's watch some zombies.
There's zombies in it.
Yeah, that was her selling point. She goes, well, there's zombies in it. And I'm like, okay, great, cool. So
you thought it was a music video. You're like, oh, that's good.
Yeah. Oh, I like it. It's toe tapping. And oh, by the way, Adam, near the end of the film, I don't know if you recall, there is the music by this band called Radiohead.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
It actually goes well with the movie.
It does.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? For those of you who don't know, Adam is a huge fan of Radiohead. He loves Tom York, the lead singer of Radiohead. Anytime that we bring up Radiohead, he usually has unique ways to describe how much he enjoys Tom York and Radiohead. This is sarcasm, folks. He can't stand Radiohead. Generally, he and I are at odds in terms of that. But
to be fair, I did like his score for the 2017 Suspiria.
Suspiria, yes. Thank you for saying it first, because I always mess up. So a couple quick takeaways, and then we're going to pretty much end it. Talk about some show and tell items that we've been doing on the quarantine. So about maybe 3 more minutes, and then we'll kind of start to wrap up here, folks. But my takeaways in terms of Sucker Punch itself. It is such a deep movie on so many different levels. and it really talks about such heavy material that I thought Zack Snyder does not even come close to getting enough credit. Number one, for approaching the subject matter, yet alone to how he produced it in such a way, such a digestible way, in such a metaphoric way, that we don't realize what exactly he's referring to, sincerely. And I really like how it's done. I really like the characters. Now, after watching it for a second run through, I started watching deleted scenes, and I started doing a little bit more research and a little more digesting. And I came across a Great Looper film, or a Great Looper review that was released in 2018, and they were talking about it. If you haven't checked it out, please check it out. It's really awesome. But they brought up the fact that they think that it's all a part of the main characters, not the Emily Brown.
Oh, Sweet Pea.
Sweet Pea.
Yeah.
The young lady who played Sweet Pea.
After reviewing that article and looking back, I think.
Who was a taller blonde, is what I have the short blonde, and I have the
She
taller
was
blonde.
the older sister of her and Rocket.
Okay. Yeah. And they proposed, and I have to kind of agree with this, that it was all her perspective, and this was basically her lobotomy. And it showed, at the beginning of the film, it showed Sweet Pea viewing this play rendition of her lobotomy, and she stopped it. Yeah. No, we do it on my terms. We do it on my terms. And then the rest of the film progressed from there. And if you notice, she was taking a bus. Sweet Pea was to paradise
At the end. Yeah.
Very end, I felt she finally got peace. Now, is that peace lobotomy? Maybe not, because she's a very troubled and tormented woman who experienced a lot of grief, her character. And, my heart grieved for that character.
I mean, all of them. I mean, they only go into the story of the three girls, the main girls, Sweet Pea, Rocket, and Baby Doll. And the other two girls, it leaves to differ. Maybe they weren't real. They were in her lobotomized head, that she's just trying to find her happy place, because they don't have any backstories. They don't tell where they come from. They're just there helping get the group out of a bad situation. Okay. So I can follow that thought.
Okay. I view it kind of like a messed up version of Chicago, without the singing. The rendition of Chicago that won all the Academy Awards for Best Film, and a couple other things for Renee Zellweger. In terms of where it takes reality and flips it to a more digestible form for the main character, if you will. So it kind of does that aspect. But I strongly recommend this film. At least watch it. For those of you out there, if you like Sucker Punch, if you think it's great, please comment below.
It makes you think.
Yeah. Comment below here in the YouTube video, and as always, subscribe, because we'll be doing more of these quarantine videos, of course. And you can always we'll get to more of our places where you can find us in a few moments. But thus concludes Sucker Punch. Thank you very much for choosing that, Diana. So what we've been doing, a running theme that we've been doing here, is we've been having one of us select a item from their own personal collection to talk about, movie related preferably. And because our guest is here, we decided to have her choose one. What do you got? Whoa, this is a kid show.
Wonder Woman crotch.
All right, so Diana, what do you got for us?
I don't even know who that face is. That's not even Linda Blair or Hamilton.
Yeah,
or...
That's a rough.
It does look like Linda Blair. I'll put it that way.
So Diana, why don't you tell us why you chose this? What's going on?
First of all, her name's Diana, and I grew up with three older brothers, and they were always into comic books and all that stuff. And I didn't really have a female comic book to look up to until they showed me, oh yeah, there's a Wonder Woman. And then her name happens to be Diana. And I was like, okay, that's a double dunk. I'm sold. So as a teenager, I grew up reading her comic books. Her and Catwoman, of course, we won't go there. And just her empowerment and how she is. And it's the name that got me there, but it's just her strength and her powers and all the cool stuff that she could do that takes me over the top with her. And when her movie came out, oh my gosh, I was like, that's fantastic.
All right, so Yeah, thank you very much for sharing, Diana. Appreciate
love
it.
her. She's
So talking points, you like Wonder Woman film with
Yes,
Gal Gadot.
I do. I'm look forward to the second one. I'm very intrigued to see how they pull that one together.
1984. I think.
Oh, 1984. My bad.
I think every one of us is looking forward to that, at least in theory. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's good.
folks?
Absolutely.
Theory.
Yeah.
I mean, anything to do with Wonder Woman is great. She's fantastic. Even in Justice League, she was good. Directed by Zack Snyder.
I see what you did there, tie-in.
I see.
Okay. Is that anything like Michael Mann?
Is it what?
Anything like Michael Mann?
No.
I think Dawn of Justice should have just been Dawn of Justice, not Batman vs Superman. That thing was just.
We're not getting into this.
Yeah.
I-
We're not ready for this? Is that what you said?
No. I'm
could've
looking
been
forward to
two
having our
different
DC focused film and maybe we can have Martha on. Yeah,
We can hire
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
named Martha.
Yeah, there you are. But yeah, so thank you very much for joining us, Diana. We
Thank you for
really
having me.
appreciate it.
I love you guys.
Yeah. So, do you have any social medias? If people want to say, "Hey, no, okay, you are
Thank you.
okay."
I do not.
All right.
She's like, no, I don't want your crazy people following me.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, she blocked me twice. Yeah.
And not
it's-
just on social media. Oh.
In fact, I have to fuzz her face out for this video.
I will give I want to give your mom a shout out. She's awesome. She always participates. She's fantastic. I love seeing her points of views on stuff. So.
Oh yeah.
All right.
She's
Her
actually
mom
here.
being Abby.
Yep.
Yeah.
Little.
She's actually here right now. She's watching the little
Little
guy, our son Gabriel. Well, that is doing this.
Bingo.
Yeah. So thank you very much,
Little guy.
Abby. Thank you for supporting the show and always commenting on our various different social medias. Which Allison, by the way, where can you see comments from Abby as well as some of our other great top viewers and people? Where can you follow us?
Well, you can follow us on Twitter at CineMadnessP. You can go to Instagram, which is CineMadness the podcast, or no, that's just CineMadness podcast. And then Facebook is CineMadness the podcast. And we're still doing our 30-day movie challenge. Today was day 18. So we're like a little over halfway there. I appreciate everybody who has been participating. We've gotten a lot of cool responses. So
And that's fun. That's good fun. It's hard
It
for
has
me
been
to think
fun.
of something, but
Yeah.
still I go on there like 9:00 in the morning. Right, okay, which day are we on now? Which day are we on now?
Yeah.
So I comment.
Yeah.
She texts me and yells at me. It's like, someone took my choice, honey. Well, you can put it
That's
anywhere.
That's the worst. I know, but
This was a good. Today was a good versatile day.
yeah.
What was
Yeah.
today, Adam?
Today
Visually
was
striking.
movies that are visually striking to you.
Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it.
I'm
I wanted
sorry.
to Sucker Punch, but I thought we were talking about it, so I didn't want to.
You could.
Yeah, I guess.
And I would have fed into it and said, we're going to be talking about it, so don't give away any family
Visually
secrets.
striking. What were the best answers, Adam? Or do you have it up?
We had a lot of What Dreams May Come, which I knew a lot of people. Did I
I
miss
tried
something?
not-
Yeah, I like What Dreams May Come. That one's good. I like that. I agree with that.
I've been
that
trying to knock this guy out for a year, and you get him on one joke. Really? Come on.
I thought he had it up. That's why I was
Yeah, what Dreams May Come was a big popular one.
big
I think.
fish. I saw a big fish in there.
Yeah,
too.
Sin City was another one
Oh, yeah.
as well. I remember seeing that. Of course. What were you guys' choices, real quick?
Crap, I don't remember.
I do.
Oh.
You chose one of mine. I was completely stuck. I picked 300 Cloud Atlas, which
Oh,
was
God.
Austin's choice. And I think I picked another one, but I don't remember. Oh, Blade Runner. Both. I picked both.
Both
So
movies.
you chose Blade Runner, Allison, and Adam. So yours, seriously? I'm calling some BS on that one.
I chose Cloud Atlas because it's just one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen,
Mhm.
and it's almost 4-hour runtime.
Yeah. That's
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I chose Into the Spider-Verse just because
Oh.
I feel that needs to be spoken of more.
Very
Fantastic.
comic booky.
Yep.
Yes,
Oh,
very
that's
comic
great.
booky. Absolutely. But we will talk about it more. Do we know what's going on next week, folks? Do we have another patron join us next week?
Hopefully we'll get another patron on, and they can pick a movie of their choosing.
All right.
Patreon.
To be on here, and you want to force us to watch a really crappy movie, or a 4-hour-long runtime movie, or a movie we've never seen. If you want to force us to watch The Room or any other kind of asinine, horrible movie, we will do it. But you have to be a patron.
Yes, or get us really, really inebriated.
Now you tell me.
Yeah.
I would have
All
picked
right.
a movie.
Well, thus concludes today, folks. We really appreciate all you guys do the support. Two real quick points. I thank you very much to Robinson High School alumni for supporting us. We are getting a bump from them. Thank you very much, Robinson alumni. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. Robinson High, go Knights, alumni. Woohoo! Yes. Thank you. And finally, on a very special, heartfelt note, this is our year anniversary today, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
Happy anniversary, guys.
A year anniversary. Real quick, this whole show, this whole concept started off with Adam. Adam, can you real quick give us a little background knowledge? And I know Allison really elevated it. And then somehow basically twisted your arm and got this guy involved. So, Adam, can you tell us the quick background? Allison, add in, and then we'll send it away with the goodbye.
Oh my God, we're on the very verge of getting cut off here. I just wanted to do something where we could talk about movies and our opinions about movies. So I'm glad it took off like this.
And look how far we've gone, because the first episode, which was called The End of the Road, was horrible. Roman reviewed Over the Hedge or Over the whatever that stupid cartoon movie was.
Open season.
And we talked about Boomerang and Boyz II Men, and we've just come a long way. And I love you guys.
Love you guys.
Thank you very much, guys.